Number 1 again, Texas Congressman Ron Paul. He came out on top for the second year in a row. He was followed by former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, the New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, and former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson, who spent most of his speech advocating the legislation of marijuana. But when it comes to actually winning the White House, Congressman Paul isn't really considered the strongest contender. So why isn't there a clear front-runner for the GOP? Not yet. David Drucker, staff writer for Roll Call, joins us now, as he does frequently on Sunday mornings. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Eric. Good to see you.
So what does it really mean when, Ron Paul keeps on winning this thing?
And Ron Paul may go on and continue to win this thing year after year, and I don't think it's going to really have an effect on the Republican presidential field. Look, I think you mentioned something that's interesting in that we don't really have a true front-runner yet. But I think that is because it's very early, and many of the candidates are hedging and trying to tread lightly. Nobody wants to get out of the gate too fast and then peak too early and disappear. And so I think a lot of these guys are taking their time. We don't really have a real true candidate field yet. We have a lot of likely potential. We're sure they're going to run type candidates, but not many that are actually in. Ron Paul himself isn't sure if he's going to run again.
You talk about the potential candidates. You have all the names. Sarah Palin, Tim Pawlenty, Mike Huckabee, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What does it take for one of them to break out? A lot of talk this weekend that Sarah Palin appointed a chief of staff who has national experience.
Yeah, it's a good question. What's going to push, one of these guys to be in or out? I think you'll see someone like Senator John Thune from South Dakota announce by the end of February. First, he said he'll announce by the end of February, and he's very unknown nationally, and someone like him understands that he needs to get in earlier than other candidates to build name ID and to raise money. Other candidates like Mitt Romney, Tim Pawlenty, Sarah Palin, they really have carte blanche to get in almost as late as they want. Don't forget, in 1991, Bill Clinton did not get into the race until the fall or very late summer. Everybody thought President Bush was too formidable. They thought Mario Cuomo, the New York governor, was going to run. And here you go at the end of the thing, Bill Clinton gets in and he runs away with it. So there is still plenty of time. I'm skeptical that any potential candidate with a television contract is going to get in. I just think when you're making a lot of money in the media and you've been in public service before, you're likely to want to stay there. But I think we're going to see Tim Pawlenty, Mitt Romney, possibly John Thune, and some others get into the race. And I just think you'll start to see more movement in the spring, but possibly for some of these guys not until summer and possibly early fall.
Yeah, you made a good point. In the past, only Al Gore and George McGovern were the ones who announced first, and it ended up on top for November for the race.
Correct. And don't forget, in 2007, Mitt Romney was in extremely early, and it didn't end up doing him that much good. We had a sort of front-runner, John McCain, who was then left for dead, and all of a sudden was the front-runner again at the end when it counted. And I think everybody's trying to get the timing right. They're trying to position themselves correctly. They're trying to see, what everybody else does. There's not really an exact science to this. It's kind of like an art form, and at least if you're a known quantity, and some of these people are, they're going to be able to raise the money they need to be competitive in the primary. I just think that everybody figure out exactly how to go at the president, Barack Obama. What's the best way to go at him? Who are the competitors going to be? What is the Republican voting electorate in the primary going to be like? Is it going to be sort of old school or more like the Tea Party electorate in 2010? I just think people are trying to figure out their way, but I will tell you they are laying the groundwork. We know that Tim Pawlenty and Mitt Romney are already trying to line up support on Capitol Hill. We know that Haley Barbour is seriously looking at this, the Mississippi governor. So there is movement. It's just quiet and behind the scenes. And remember, whoever the front runner is today, if there is one, it's irrelevant to who the front runner is going to be when the caucuses and the primaries kick off next year. You want to be ahead when people vote. At this point in time, a lot of it is name ID and recognition, not an actual decision process where people are thinking, okay, who do I really want to be the next president?
All right, and you know who's going to make it lots of fun? Donald Trump.
Who?
Donald Trump. He can say whatever he wants.
I hope he runs. It can be President Bullfeather. That movie with Warren Beatty.
Beatty? All right, well, we'll see. He's going to make it entertaining, especially some of the things he said at the CPAC convention. All right, David Drucker. We'll keep on it. Thanks very much.